Hi, welcome to my channel. Today I'm not going to talk about a scene in a movie that I love. Today I'm going to talk to you about a gangster movie. No, not The Godfather or Goodfellas, even though Ray Liotta is awesome in that movie, right? And I'm not going to talk to you about my all-time favorite actor in my all-time favorite gangster movie, James Cagney as the Public Enemy. Nope, today on Jim's channel, in a series I call Scenes That I Love in Movies, I'm going to talk to you about a movie my dad loved and watched repeatedly called A Bronx Tale. So here we go.
That's me, Kalodra at 9 years old. Right there under that lamppost there stood the number one man in the neighborhood, Sonny.
The movie was released in 1993 and focuses on the twin relationship between De Niro's father, and his son, Colosio, a teenager on the streets of the Bronx in the 1960s. Now, Colosio is a teenager in the 1960s, which means he's either a wannabe gangster, or he's a wannabe nerd, or he's a wannabe jock. Either way, he's a wannabe something. He gets under the wing of the neighborhood mobster, Sonny, played by Chaz Palminteri, who wrote this as a play based on his own life, and he acted it as a one-man play in New York and in LA between 1989 and 1990 before making it into this movie. And Sonny, in the movie, he becomes like a surrogate father to Colosio, and he initiates the boy into the ways of gangland life, inviting Rob De Niro, his father's anger.
As I grew, Sonny grew in power. He became a boss, and I was his friend.
The son, Colosio, is torn between two worlds, that of his working man father, who Sonny always says the working man is a sucker, and to a certain extent, Colosio believes him. And he's torn between the life of being a gangster. He wants to be a gangster when he grows up. In his youth, no doubt, his father had more of an impact on his life, but he always wanted and desired the gangster way of life because the gangsters in the neighborhood made that way of life look so good and exciting, and they never worried about money. And his mother and father always worried about money. So why not be a gangster, right? But now, as he's older and he gets to see what being a gangster is like, Colosio, he can see that being a gangster is both has its upside and its downside. Very dangerous. He begins to question what kind of life will he have. He's finding out that life is how you make it, and that there are no easy steps. Life is more complex than he thought. As a kid, he'd say to his father, "I don't understand, Dad," and he'd cry. And his father would say back, "You will when you get older." There's a harsh reality check when everything his dad says about how Sonny can't trust anybody in his life rings true to Colosio, and this realization makes him rethink everything he's learned about life from both his biological father and the De Niro character and his surrogate father, the Chaz Palminteri character. In this way, you can see him fighting for, am I going to be like my father, the working class, and just a no-name person growing up? Or am I going to be like the gangster, Sonny, and make a name for myself? What path am I really going to take? It's a very good intersection, and it's a very good movie. It's well acted, and if you haven't seen it, check it out. If nothing else, for the music is awesome. Music is totally awesome. 1960s stuff, forget about it. It's great music.
The money.
Don't you trust anybody?
No.
It's a horrible way to live.
For me, it's the only way.
I know who you are, Sonny. I know what you're capable of. But this time you're wrong. You don't fool with a man's family.
Sonny, trust me.
He'll hurt you like anybody.
This is my life, not yours. This is not for you.
What life? Put your hands on me, I'll stick you in the ground. Get away from my son.
Robert De Niro, directing and starring in A Bronx Tale.
On a personal note, the often quoted saying from De Niro's character, "The saddest thing in life is wasted talent," I never really appreciated. I just thought it was a throwaway line from a character that really didn't mean much. At least it didn't mean too much for me. After years and years of watching it with my dad, but after watching it recently, it just hit a nerve. It struck me, and I felt it more personal. I realize it's the main thread that flows throughout the movie, unifying all these characters' lives together, like a knitted blanket or like a bus route, like Robert De Niro's bus route in the movie. I know that it means, at least I think that it means that everybody has a talent that is special and unique to them, and to not use that talent to help out your fellow man or just to be fruitful and helpful in this life, well, that's wasting it. And I like this interpretation. It rings true to me. And as a person of faith, I think it rings true. And I just want to say thank you, Dad. I understand now. Thanks. And if you think it means something else, then go ahead and write it down in the comments. And I appreciate you watching this video. Like and subscribe and do all that YouTube jazz. And I will see you on the other side.